What is up? It is Rocky Tiger here, and today we are starting off episode 15 on the BeyondVanilla server beneath the Squid Farm, where after thinking and looking through lots of different solutions on how to build a better collection system so I didn't have to keep on just manually emptying each one of these hopper minecarts, I realized that the simplest solution would be to simply build a row of hoppers leading down into a couple of chests, and so that's what we've done. And after just a little bit of AFKing, squid spawning seems to be working out pretty well. I think I've only been here for about 30, maybe 40 minutes. I think I'm also, I am the only one online, so that probably has a lot to do with it. Without any other chunks loaded, the squid are only going to be loading up in the farm, which means that my rates are going to be much, much better. And it is very dark. I did not realize that. Let's sleep real quick. There we go. Once again, we are running through the Nether. Today, we're not actually headed towards any place that I think we've been before on the BeyondVanilla series here. Today, we are actually headed off to the end to go and do some end busting, and that is for several reasons. Reason number one is that I'm more or less out of blocks to actually finish this particular tunnel, and I'm getting tired of looking at its incomplete self, so we need to go and tear down some end cities. And reason number two is that the end shop is kind of looking a little a little bare, and really needs some restocking, and the only way I'm going to be able to restock it with end goodies and loot from the end is by going end busting. And I forgot how dark and terrifying the end really is with shaders on. At least with this particular shader pack, it is kind of scary looking. But we'll make do. Let's go see if we can find some end cities. Alright, this first one is looking a little small, but I can hear some shulkers pouncing around in there. I was wondering what this place would look like with the shaders on, and it is looking pretty dark, so we might turn shaders off for the rest of this episode, or I might see if I can turn the brightness up a little bit. First, let's kill ourselves some shulkers. Lucky day. Man, these look really spooky with the shader pack on. I think I'm gonna leave it on though, just for the atmosphere. And we got ourselves an elytra. Nice. Don't care about beetroot seeds, but I'll probably end up picking them up anyways. It's just easier to do it that way. These are what I'm really after more than anything else, and the loot, but I definitely need... Oh, and that's super handy. We can jump back to spawn. I think this will be... Or not spawn. We'll jump back to the main end island. And this looks like a really sizable city as well, so I think we should be good with some of the loot that we get in here, as well as the blocks that we were able to harvest. I really despise shulkers. I love shulker boxes, hate the shulkers. Oh, are you kidding? I also never carry around a shield. So we're going to be stuck here for a couple more seconds. Lovely. Alright. Let's just start from the top. Let's crash into it. That's what we're going to do. Start from the top by crashing into it. Fantastic. And of course I don't have any ender pearls on me right now. Good job. Good job, Rocky. No ender pearls on you right now. And we do have a data pack on this server for double shulker shells, and that's super handy. Look, we've got a shulker head too. Nice. Don't know exactly what happened, but my internet just stopped working for a couple hours there, and I guess somewhere along the line they were having some technical difficulties, but I'm really glad that I wasn't using an elytra and flying over the void when that happened, because that would have been rather disappointing. So we just had one of the luckiest things I think that's ever happened to me on Minecraft. I'm at the northern end of this particular end city because that's where, as you can see down there, the portal to get back to the main end island is. And as I started flying off this direction, what materializes but another end ship, which means that there's probably another end city right over there, because I don't think that I've ever seen a double end ship city, but that's really, really cool. This is actually the closest that I think I've ever seen two end cities together, or at least two end ships together, so lucky me. Awesome job, and that's going to be fantastic because it means I'll get another elytra, provided that no one's raided that one, but since no one had raided this one, since I reset the end, I don't think anyone's raided that one, and that means I'll get another elytra to put in the shop. And it's intact. Boom. Anything good? Not really. Let's put this loot away because we don't want to end up losing it. So, boom and boom. Second shulker, helmets, some ingots, 28 shulker shells, not bad so far. And we're going to go ahead and raid this city since it's right here. We got lots of end rods. It should be more than enough to light up that particular nether tunnel. Lots of end stone bricks, which I think should be enough because we got most of the walls done in that nether tunnel, and the most important ones are the purple pillars, and it looks like we've got 3 and a bit over half a stacks of purple pillar, which I can easily get enough by just raiding this city as well. I didn't even take a look to see how big this city was. How big of a city are we talking? Let's take a quick look. Oh, it's another pretty big one too, so I'm hoping we might get some good loot in here as well. And then we'll head over to there and go back to the overworld. Oh, come on, come on, no! I'm floating away again. That's 3 end cities raided and a decent amount of loot, and I just realized that F5 mode in the end is pretty dangerous, so I'm just going to stare straight up and see if I can... No, I'm kidding, I'm not going to see if I can find our end portal that way. It's right over here. Back we go. Not sure which bed I slept at last. The ink farm. Cool. Only thing left to do is head back towards my base. One thing I'm noticing is that my mending is way more expensive than it used to be, but I think I know why, and I'm pretty sure that reason has to do with the head trader that I put into the game. I had to kill a couple of them, and they are technically villagers, which means that it may have damaged my reputation overall, because I had mending down to the point where with Hero of the Village it was a 1-for-1 trade, and it is definitely not a 1-for-1 trade anymore. Silk Touch was 10 for 1, I think, so I'm pretty sure my reputation has decreased. I'm not sure how to check that, though. Not sure if the farmer trades have been affected too much by that, or if they've been affected at all, but I'll have to go and do a raid and see what happens with what sort of discount that I'll get, because that just seems ridiculous. That is definitely not the mending trade that I had before. I'm fairly certain I had a 10 for 1 trade. We'll have to figure that out. That'll be what we do once we go and restock the shops. Alright, got a shulker of sand, got all of my loot and everything. I've got some dye in this shulker for making some dyed shulkers, so let's go ahead and get some more. We'll just do 4. We'll grab 4 of each color that we can easily grab. That's 5, so that's 20 shulkers worth right there. Yeah, that should be plenty. Let's just start with the rocket shop, get it out of the way, see if we've made any money here. Got 4 diamonds, 7, and shulkers, not shulkers, elytra have already been purchased, so I'm glad I've got a couple more to stick in there. I think it's in this chest, yep. Boom, and we're already up to a stack of diamonds, which is not bad at all. Oh man, yeah, I haven't checked in here in a while. Sold quite a few shulkers and quite a bit of gear. Lots of gear. And a couple of ender pearls. Nice. It's up to a good amount of profit so far. Let's go ahead and drop this shulker down, and let's start with the shulkers. Let's see what we can do here. Could not have planned that any better. Literally grabbed the exact number of shulker shells that I needed to craft up the boxes. That is awesome and really unusual, because I had no idea how many I would actually need to restock the shop. Just got to get all of these goodies into these chests and onto the sand shop. Sold a lot of terracotta. Sold a little bit of cactus, and sold a ton of sand. So let's go ahead and get that restocked. Boom. And there we go. So overall, 64 and 48. I'm not going to even bother doing the math, but that is a pretty stellar amount of profit. Now, granted, we haven't checked on our shops in a good little while, so, you know, it's probably not as good a profit as it could have been if I had restocked more often, but... Okay, I thought that chicken just hit me for a minute. I think it was just some lag there. That was really weird. Come to think of it, there is one more shop that we can check out, and that is going to be our minigame, which I doubt anyone has played, but we'll check it out anyways, just in case. Nope, nothing. Prizes are full, which is lovely, but no one's come and played. So now we are headed flying off through the nether at, well, we were headed off flying through the nether at breakneck speeds to get to the Bad Omen farm so that we can go and see what's up with my villager trades and see if I am crazy or if my slaying of my head trader villager really is what drove the price up of that mending book. Or maybe I am crazy and maybe the discount with Hero of the Village really did somehow take the trade all the way from 30 emeralds down to 1. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that my playing around and admin duties have adversely affected my relationship with all of my villagers. So we're going to hop on over here real quick, get ourselves a Bad Omen effect, and then head over to the raid farm. Alright, Bad Omen effect acquired, and only a couple arrows. You know, my hand's fine, no worries. Different part of me, maybe less so. Alright, raid started. Alright, Hero of the Village status effect acquired. Fantastic. I'm not sure how long this effect lasts. I know it lasts longer than the timeout counter. That was weird. It lasts longer than the timeout counter itself can display or is set to display. I was under the impression and thought that the way that Hero of the Village was supposed to work is that it lasted longer depending on the level of raid that you had triggered. So that if you had a Bad Omen 1, like I did, that the Hero of the Village effect would last not as long as if you had triggered a Bad Omen 3 or 4. I don't know if that is the case or if that was intended to be the case, but it doesn't... Well... It says I have Hero of the Village 5. Is that what that is? It's hard to tell because it kind of spills over. So maybe I do. But I only triggered a level 1 raid, or a... What would you call it? And I only triggered a raid with Bad Omen 1. So I'm not entirely certain... I'm going to die if I'm not careful. I'm not entirely certain why I would have a higher than 1 Hero of the Village effect. I'm not complaining, but it also means I don't know if that's going to affect the level of discount that these villagers would give me. So let's take a look and see. 14, so still not as good as it used to be. And my best bet is that it has to do with the fact that I've been killing librarians in order to get those head villager traders to work correctly. So maybe I should stop doing that. Maybe I should just be lighting them on fire, only for whatever reason. I guess it's because sometimes they kind of float, they don't have gravity, maybe they're not affected by fire, I don't know. Whichever way I had been summoning them had not been working. The method of killing them with fire so that you don't end up making your villagers angry hadn't worked. Maybe this will help. I think the only way I'm going to be able to actually get my reputation back up with these villagers is simply going to be by trading with them in the first place. Unfortunately, with this particular guy, the rest of the trades really aren't that good, which is kind of a bummer. So basically, I don't know if it's worth it to try and trade with the villagers to, reputation, to try and get my reputation back with them. At least not right now with the Spigot release of 1.14.4 right around the corner. Hopefully the server will get updated to that pretty soon, although by the time that this particular video comes out, it most likely will have been updated. I'm gonna have to be very truthful and honest here. A part of me doesn't want to update to 1.14.4 as soon as I possibly can, and I'll show you one important reason why. And there you go. I like Optifine. I love my Optifine. I love my Cheaty Zoom key. And OptiFabric and the replay mod are really valuable tools. So unless there are changes that are made to the game for 1.14.4 that are absolutely 100% crucial, I may hold off a little bit until a stable release of Optifine is also released, so that I can get replay mod and Optifine to work at the same time, because I also like my shaders. I like all of the aspects of the game the way I have it set up right now. But, you know, at the end of the day, 1.14.4 is supposed to be way more stable and way more efficient. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Optimized. It's optimized so it actually runs better. I've seen some stuff with the chunk loading in 1.14.4, and it is miles above anything else that 1.14 has had so far. It's supposed to be the last update. That's what Mojang is thinking, that it's going to be the last one, and then they're going to be moving on towards trying to start working on developing, or trying to actually get some solid work on developing 1.15, which who knows what that's going to be, although I've heard it is not going to be a caving update. As far as I know, the only thing that I think anyone knows for certain is that 1.15 is going to include functionality for the armorer's bench as well as the fletching table, which they added as workstations for villagers in 1.14, but not actually any sort of user interface or functionality beyond that. So that's all I know about the new update, other than the fact that it's coming, and I think they're supposed to also announce it in September. But all of that, it's been a relatively chill and slightly unproductive in terms of building episode for today. It's been all over the place in terms of my actual shooting for the day as well, because I started off this episode this morning, and then the internet went out, and then the air conditioning in the house also went out, and so I've been kind of bouncing on and off Minecraft all day. I think I was really lucky, because when I was in the end, I was in the city and not flying through the air when my internet went out, and then I had to just wait for the HVAC to get fixed and to actually start cooling down the house again. It's the Midwest out here. I think it reached, I don't know if we quite reached over 100 degrees, but the heat index was over 100, so it was quite warm and not really good weather for making any sort of Minecraft videos. So this part that I'm shooting now is a full 6 or 7 hours after the previous segment, when I was still in the end flying around trying to bust some end cities up. And so it's been one of the most janky recording days that I've had, and I figure those are gonna happen, and you just gotta keep on shooting. And if you have an incohesive, non-cohesive, impossible to understand sort of episode, I mean, it's late right now and I am exhausted, and yeah, just that sort of thing. And hey, look, we got a pillager patrol over there. It looks like actually 2 of them rolled into one, and I'm not sure what they're doing, but they seem to be trying to pathfind through the wall. Whatever, we're going to leave them alone. We're going to enjoy the fact that my wall has had even more progress on it. Just a bit of building on this side. Pretty soon I won't be able to do this anymore, flying through it. And that is where I'm going to leave you, with this lovely shot of my base to this point in the server. And I will see you guys next time.